Good morning, everyone. It's me, Sandra, this morning. I hope that you will join me for a cup of coffee, and I have not had one sip of this yet, so I really have to have at least one sip before I start running off. The rain has stopped for a little while, but I think tomorrow there is a hurricane coming up in the Gulf Coast, and I think it will just give us a lot of rain, maybe a little high winds, but I don't think Miami Beach is going to be affected that much. At least I hope not. But you know, this humidity is really getting to me, and I finally called and made an appointment. I'm going to get my hair cut. I don't know. I just have to have it not be so crazy every day. Yeah, yesterday I saw something on the news, and then I read something also about it. But you know, I used to be a romper room teacher, and I was doing it in the late 60s, early 70s, when they still had March of Dimes telethon with Jerry Lewis. And I was in that community with Sheri Lewis and her little hand puppet Lamb Chop. And Mr. Rogers, Fred Rogers, really was a friend of mine, because we used to do these telethons together, and all of us had children's shows, but we would meet usually at these telethons. And I have to tell you that Fred Rogers was just exactly what you saw in front of the camera. The ease, the way he spoke, his gentleness was exactly who he was. You know, he conceived of the idea, he would write the music, he wrote the scripts, he would play all of the voices except for maybe the mailman who would come in. And he was just a kind, generous, giving person. And what a gift he was to the children that we were speaking to in the 60s and 70s. Of course, I became an anchor woman. I went on to something else, but he continued on with his show for a long time. I think he died in maybe 2003, but he was such a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful man. I really enjoyed his friendship. So there is going to be a documentary coming out June 8th about Fred Rogers. They're going to do his whole story. And if I remember correctly, I mean, he served in the armed forces. He was a patriot. But I think he got started working for Kate Smith. Remember Kate Smith? Maybe you're too young, but Kate Smith used to be a singer, had a beautiful, beautiful voice, and she had a television show when television first started, when I was a little girl, you know, in the 50s, when it really became, you know, more people had television sets. Oh, I sound like I'm an ancient woman, don't I? Oh my gosh, I can't believe it. But anyway, he had such an interesting career, but he genuinely was just exact. And Sheri also, she was just so sweet and nice and fun, and little teeny girl. She wasn't very tall at all, and I'm about 5'7", so she was a lot shorter than I was. But anyway, to get back to my original point, I can't wait to watch this documentary. He had such a powerful influence on the children, I think, of our generation, almost more than any show until Sesame Street came along. But those are just kind of the couple things I'm going to talk about today. And of course, Friday, I'm going to put up my 5 things that I absolutely cannot live without. So I'm going to be doing that. I haven't done it yet, but I'm going to be doing that. And I'm sure I'm going to have enough rainy days that I'll be able to do it between now and Friday. But I would like to leave you with maybe a thought that I always do, you know, be kind today to yourself. Do something special. Share a little bit of kindness around someone else today, and of course, share the love. But I always loved the way Fred would close his shows, and this is exactly the way I feel about all of you. I like you just the way you are. Thank you for sharing this morning with me. I hope you have a beautiful day, and I hope to see you on